Hi, I'm Austin with ENMKF, and we're here to talk to you today about what we do with our used plastics and how we repurpose them to use later. The first step in this process is you want to sort your plastics. So we like to do ours by the different colors. We do dark colors together, we do watermelons together, bright colors together, but you can do it however you want, group them all together and just get after it. But once you get them all sorted, the next thing that you want to do is you want to cut them into smaller pieces, so that when it melts, they melt together and you don't really end up with a whole lot of chunks that you would if you didn't cut them.
What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler with Eastern New Mexico Kayak Fishing. Going to the next step in this plastic making process, we've already got some plastics cut up. You're going to make sure to use a microwave safe dish. These are Pyrex off-brand from Walmart or Dollar General or wherever. Essentially, it's going to take, we found that a cup of cut up plastics normally works the best for making about 4 senkos. That's what we're doing today. And going in, once you get about a cup, measure it out, and we'll start the heating process up. Alright guys, so we're going to start the heating process off. It depends on how hot your Pyrex is and how many you've already done. On cold Pyrex, nothing's hot yet. We're probably going to start it at about a minute and a half, check it, and stir it, and then keep going. It's going to take longer than a minute and a half. Well, let's get going. Alright, so we'll go ahead and check it. Been about a minute now. Like I said, I didn't expect much. Pyrex is barely warm on the bottom. Now, once this is good and hot, make sure you're wearing a good thick glove. This stuff is melting plastic. It'll burn the living heck out of you. On your expensive Pyrex, your handle won't be too hot. On these cheaper ones, the handle gets pretty hot. So even if you're holding by the handle, make sure you got a glove on. I normally like to check it and stir it up. Just kind of use a fork or something you don't care about. A knife works. Stuff on the bottom's kind of started to melt. Not sure if you can see it or not, but it'll start to kind of clump together. So nowhere near hot enough to be ready to go in the mold. So we'll put it back in and be back with you. Alright, we're getting somewhere now. So right here, it's at a pretty good consistency. It's actually a little bit too hot. And so you may or may not be able to tell, but there's some bubbles going off on it. And so it's a little bit too hot. And so right now we'll let it cool down a little bit. You want to have it to where it just kind of barely runs off this fork, and there are still some chunks in this, so give us an opportunity to really stir it up and get it nice and smooth. At this point is when we like to add more glitter. You want to do it towards the end of your pour whenever it's nice and hot. If you do it when it's too cold, you don't get a consistent stir with your glitter. And so we'll go ahead and add some glitter in. This was black and blue, so we'll probably just add a little bit more blue fleck. Get some nice color going in there, so it's a little bit flashier. When we're doing this, we're just using glitter straight from Walmart. Gonna toss it in there. You can't necessarily overdo it. We don't have any means by keeping track, just however much looks good. Once it's in there, go ahead and just keep stirring it. And it's getting to about the right consistency now. Just kind of hanging on to that fork a little bit. And as I'm stirring it, I can feel it getting thicker. If you have it too hot when you pour it into the mold, it'll burn it a little bit just because it's condensed heat. It's in a confined place. So we'll be right back with you. We're going to get our mold set up.
Hey guys, Matt Ramey with ENMKF. We're here to do the third part of this process. So I'm going to talk to you about the mold real quick and the injector. This is a do-it mold. You can buy these at Tackle Warehouse. They have different types and varieties and quantities of the plastics that can melt within it. This is a mold by Do It. We just bought a 4-set senko mold. It's the most versatile bait we feel like, and the one that we use the most often, so we felt like it'd be the best investment to do that. So this is your first purchase, and this is what you'll pour into. There's the hole where you're going to pour the injector in. And then along with that, here's your injector that you would buy with it. This is the cylinder that this gets plunged. You pour your plastic into this piece right here. It gets plunged through, and then it'll come out at the end eventually. And this is just the tip that actually fits into the mold itself. So while he's pulling it out, he'll be giving it a final stir to make the consistency right, make sure the glitter is separated properly. While he's doing that, I'm going to be putting the mold into the vise that we have on the table, getting ready for to go in the injector. So once that's locked in, Tyler's going to basically make it till it works.
All right.
So now he's got the right consistency, so now we're going to go into the injector. And this is where gloves come in hand. Make sure both partners have gloves. So basically while he's pouring, he's going to get it to about where I can put the cap on the top of it, which is about that consistency. I put the injector on the head. Now the next important part is, while it's in here, it's still hot. But you make sure you don't want to leave air bubbles in it, so you kind of want to put some pressure on it before it goes into the mold and get some of that liquid coming out. And that expels all of the air, so once it's out, you can actually just plunge it into the deal. You're going to apply pressure till it's tight, and then you're going to lift it up. And then at this point you can apply more and leave it kind of, because it's going to continuously pop those air bubbles what little do get in there. It's going to continue to sink, and you're just going to apply a little bit more. And about this process, we like to usually give the mold a good knock. Just kind of make sure that there is no air bubbles, maybe that attach to the side, that expels those maybe, and it's just one less thing we might have to worry about at the end of the process for air pockets. So now that it's in there, we're going to give that about 45 seconds to cool, since the mold itself is actually cold. This will be really quick. Each continuous one, the mold will increase in heat, and maybe take about a minute to a minute and a half, but usually it's a relatively quick process at this point. And then then we clear out the injector. What's left, you can tell that that's already pretty much done. So I'm gonna push the rest out. I was wondering why you did that. And that's it. It's clean, no plastic left over. Everything's good to go.
Once it's left in here, guys, everything in here can be reused. This will cool down pretty quick. You can just scrape it off the sides, get it all back in there. If you need to add some more, go ahead and add some more, but all that's ready to be reheated up and reused and pour another mold. You'll see once we finish off this mold, there will be some excess plastic as well. This will come in the cylinder. Everything can just go right back in here ready to reheat. Once you're finished with this color, it's pretty simple to clean it out. Just make sure it's cooled down, and you can really just grab it and pull everything out at once.
So now we're good over here on the mold itself. Kind of show you. So top of the mold, you kind of see that little indentation right there. Basically, this is the moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and open it up. There's 4 black and blue senkos. So there's the mold, and they come straight out. They're pretty much cool at this point, solidified. First batch done.
Then on these guys, everything right here, all you got to do is just grab it right there and pop it off. Now this right here can go right back in, be reheated. There you are.
Alright guys, and after you're finished with the whole process and everything, you end up with the final product, and these are just some of the ones that we've made in the past, and we have our favorite colors with us to tell you what they are.
Alright guys, these are the ones that we just did. They're all ready to go. Put them on a hook, go fishing. We call these ones Nightclub, and these ones here we call toothpaste. Going over.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. These two are my favorite. We call this one New Mexico Special because it's got some turquoise in it. And these we call Percocets. They're different colors on each side. You can see how they got a lot of glitter on one side, and on the other there's not as much.
And my favorite as well is called Cotton Candy. Well, thanks for watching us. Hopefully you liked the video. If you have questions, please comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and if you have any questions about making your own plastics or getting into this, let us know. And just remember that you can always repurpose these plastics. It's very cheap and it's easy to do, and you can just always reuse plastics as well. And make sure you follow us on all of our social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks for watching.